It starts the same almost every morning. You open your eyes, you stretch, maybe you sigh. You sit on the edge of the bed and feel the familiar stiffness in your knees, your back, your hands. Another morning, another slow rise. You shuffle toward the kitchen. The coffee's already in your mind before your feet even touch the tile. That comforting smell, that warmth in your hands, the routine that feels like a lifeline. But here's the question no one is asking. What if your first drink of the day is silently stealing what little strength and sharpness you have left? Because if you're over 60, the very thing you reach for in those first few minutes might be waking you up. But it's also wearing you down. See, your brain and your joints, your memory and your mobility don't need a stimulant. They need a signal, a nourishment, a ritual that doesn't just keep you going, but brings you back. Because there's one drink, one simple, powerful morning drink that has been shown to light up brain function, reduce inflammation in the joints, improve blood flow to the extremities, and reverse the early signs of cognitive decline without a drop of caffeine. And most people walk right past it. But let me take you to someone who didn't. Her name is Clara, 71, retired librarian. She had one habit: coffee first thing, always. She didn't think twice about it until she started forgetting names, losing her train of thought mid-sentence. Her knees would ache before noon. She thought, well, this is just what happens. Until her daughter, a nurse, asked her one question. Mom, what are you drinking before anything else enters your body? She hadn't thought about it. They ran a few tests. Her cortisol levels were high, her hydration markers were low, her morning insulin response was spiking. Her inflammation was creeping up quietly, daily. So they made one change, just one. Before anything else, before the phone, before the coffee, she drank a warm cup of golden tonic, a simple blend: warm water, a pinch of turmeric, a slice of fresh ginger, a squeeze of lemon, and a dash of black pepper. That's it. 3 weeks later, she stood differently. Her mind felt steadier. Her joints didn't whisper pain with every step. And when she forgot less, when her words flowed easier, she smiled like someone returning to herself. That drink wasn't a miracle. It was alignment. Because this drink, this ancient science-backed blend, works with your biology, not against it. It taps into pathways your body already understands. And when taken at the right moment, first thing, before food, before stress, it acts like a key unlocking systems that have been asleep. Let's break it down. Turmeric contains curcumin, a compound that has been studied extensively for its anti-inflammatory and neuroprotective effects. But curcumin alone isn't enough. It needs black pepper to activate its bioavailability. When paired together, studies have shown a 2,000% increase in curcumin absorption. In 2018, a double-blind, placebo-controlled study published in the American Journal of Geriatric Psychiatry showed that seniors who took curcumin daily improved memory and attention over 18 months, with visible changes on brain imaging. Their brains literally lit up in regions responsible for focus and recall. That's not theory. That's biology in action. Now, let's talk about ginger. It doesn't just soothe digestion, though it does that beautifully. It also improves circulation and reduces oxidative stress, both of which are critical for mobility and muscle preservation. A 2020 study in phytotherapy research found that older adults who consumed ginger extract daily had measurable reductions in inflammatory markers and improved reaction times in cognitive tests. The compound gingerol helps reduce stiffness, improves blood flow to joints, and even stabilizes blood sugar, which is crucial because glucose swings damage the brain over time. Then there's lemon, not just for taste. Lemon is a natural source of vitamin C, potassium, and antioxidants. It supports liver detoxification and wakes up your digestive enzymes gently. That means better nutrient absorption all day. And better digestion means more fuel reaching your brain and your muscles. And warm water? It seems so basic. But after a night of dehydration, your cells are parched. Warm water is gentler on the stomach than cold. It rehydrates tissues, jumpstarts your metabolism, and prepares the body for movement and mental activity. Together, turmeric, ginger, lemon, black pepper, and warm water, they form more than a drink. They form a reset. It tells your nervous system you're safe. It tells your gut, wake up gently. It tells your brain the fog is lifting. And most importantly, It tells your muscles and joints, you are not under attack. That's the real danger with most morning routines after 60. They start with stress signals. Coffee spikes cortisol, sugar spikes insulin, rushing spikes adrenaline. All of it tells your body to tighten, to brace, to defend, not to repair. But this one drink changes that signal. When Clara made the switch, she didn't just feel better. Her labs changed. Lower CRP levels, lower fasting glucose, better kidney function. Even her sleep improved. Why? Because how you start your morning is how you teach your body to survive the day. And when you start with inflammation, you spend all day managing symptoms. But when you start with support, you spend all day building resilience. That's the shift we're after. It's not about giving things up. It's about giving your body the right cue. And the more we see seniors make this one small shift, the more we see something remarkable. They move differently. They stand taller. They speak with more clarity. They stop accepting decline as the cost of age. Because it's not. It's the cost of disconnection. Disconnection from what the body is actually asking for. And now that you've seen the science, felt the possibility, and heard the story, you know what comes next. The integration. The how. The deeper transformation that turns this idea, this one morning drink, into something that rewires your biology, reshapes your rhythm, and reignites your strength. When Clara added that one drink to her morning, just a warm mug of turmeric, ginger, lemon, pepper, and water, she didn't realize she was rewriting decades of internal signals. For the first time in years, her body wasn't reacting to stress. It was responding to nourishment, and that subtle shift created a cascade. The stiffness in her hands stopped waking her up. Her walks to the mailbox stopped feeling like uphill climbs. And the word she'd once fumbled for mid-sentence, it came with ease. She wasn't becoming someone else. She was remembering who she'd been all along, and she's not an exception. She's just an example of what happens when you stop flooding your system with confusion first thing in the morning, and start with clarity instead. Because the drink isn't the miracle. The miracle is what happens inside you when you stop telling your nervous system it's under attack, when you give it a reason to open up instead of shut down. Now, let's talk about what makes this drink so much more than the sum of its parts. It's not just about nutrients, it's about timing. When you consume this drink first thing in the morning, before food, before stress, before anything else, it enters a body that is empty, alert, and ready to absorb. That's when absorption rates are highest. That's when hormonal shifts are most sensitive. That's when inflammation either spikes or begins to settle. It's also when your brain is most in need of fuel, not from calories, but from blood flow, oxygen, and anti-inflammatory compounds. And this drink provides all three. Let's go deeper into that. Turmeric, specifically curcumin, crosses the blood-brain barrier. That means it doesn't just work in your joints or your gut, it works in your mind. It reduces amyloid plaque buildup, the same plaques associated with Alzheimer's. And when paired with black pepper, its absorption skyrockets, making it powerful enough to reach those fragile neural pathways that have been inflamed for years. In fact, a study from UCLA tracked seniors over 18 months who took curcumin daily and found significant improvements in memory and attention, plus reduced signs of neurodegeneration on PET scans. This isn't just theory, it's visible proof. Their brains were actually healing. Ginger, on the other hand, improves circulation, not just to the limbs, but to the brain. It thins the blood slightly, reducing clot risk, and improves nutrient delivery to muscles and neurons alike. That means better mobility, better memory, better movement. And lemon, it stimulates bile production. Why does that matter? Because bile helps you break down fats, and fat-soluble vitamins like A, D, E, and K. Without bile, those vitamins pass through your system unused. But with just a squeeze of lemon, you activate your digestive fire. You turn your gut from passive to powerful. And when you digest better, your entire immune system improves. Now, let's tie it all together. One warm mug, first thing in the morning, hydrating, anti-inflammatory, detoxifying, brain activating. It's not just a drink, it's a declaration. You're no longer starting your day in defense mode. You're starting in command. Because when you begin with intention, everything that follows bends toward clarity. But the key to unlocking all of this is consistency. You can't try this once and expect fireworks. You can't sip it for 3 days and expect to erase decades of stiffness and fog. But what you can do, what you must do, is show up every morning, 1 cup before anything else. And with each passing day, the signals get clearer, the inflammation gets quieter, the brain gets sharper, the body becomes less guarded, more open. You stop moving like someone preparing to fall. You start moving like someone with places to go. You'll notice things others don't. You'll wake with less hesitation. You'll speak with more steadiness. You'll walk into the kitchen and realize you're not looking for coffee anymore because your body isn't desperate for stimulation. It's already awake. That's the shift. That's the revolution. And it's so quiet most people miss it, but not you. Because you know the real power isn't in the drink itself. It's in the decision to start your day with presence, with biology instead of routine, with support instead of stress. And that decision leads somewhere even more profound. Because it's not just about mornings anymore. It's not just about joints and memory. It's about reclaiming the rhythm your body has been craving for years. And if you keep going, if you trust the process and stay with this path, what happens next will feel nothing short of extraordinary. Because what happens next is not about another ingredient or another statistic or another health trend. It's about what happens when you choose to follow through, day after day, with something your body has been asking for, quietly, for years. It's about the return of clarity, of steadiness, of motion without fear. It's the first time you wake up and don't need to brace yourself before standing. It's the moment you walk to the mailbox without planning each step. It's the realization that your mind didn't drift in that conversation with your grandson. You were fully there. That drink, it becomes more than a tool. It becomes a bridge from the life you've been tolerating to the life you still deserve. Because now you're not just addressing the symptoms, the stiffness, the forgetfulness, the fatigue. You're shifting the source. You're calming the inflammation that clouds your thinking and tightens your joints. You're restoring blood flow where it's been stagnant. You're telling your nervous system, you can stop guarding. We're building now. And when you do that consistently, the body does something beautiful. It begins to trust you again. That trust is everything. Because after 60, it's easy to believe the best days are behind you. That decline is a one-way street. That aching knees and scattered thoughts are just the price of getting older. But they're not. They're signals. And once you respond to those signals with precision, your body will respond with strength. You see it in people like Thomas. He was 74 when he started, retired mechanic. Tough hands, quiet eyes. He used to need both arms to push himself out of his recliner. Thought it was just old age. But he started drinking the tonic every morning. First thing, no changes to his diet, no supplements, just the drink. A month in, he bent down to pick up a wrench and realized something shocking. He didn't need to brace his knee. 3 months later, he was gardening again, digging, lifting, smiling. He told me, "It's not that I feel younger, it's that I feel unlocked." Unlocked. That's what this is. You're not becoming someone else. You're removing the fog. You're melting the stiffness. You're unburying the strength that never actually left. It just got hidden under years of stress and poor signaling. Because that's the truth no one tells you. Aging doesn't steal your power. Inflammation does. Disconnection does. But the second you start sending the right message, the body remembers. It listens. It returns. And yes, coffee still has a place, if you want it, but not first. Not when your system is dry, inflamed, vulnerable. Let the first thing that enters your body be something that heals, that opens the door, not slams it shut, that primes the brain, steadies the joints, and tells your biology, we're not done. So how do you start? You don't overthink it. You just begin. A mug of warm water, a pinch of turmeric, a few slices of fresh ginger, a squeeze of lemon, a crack of black pepper. Stir. Sip slowly. Breathe as you do. Don't rush to the rest of the day. Let this moment be sacred. Let it be a signal that today will not be lived on autopilot, that today your body gets what it needs. And when tomorrow comes, do it again. Because healing isn't found in heroic effort. It's found in humble rhythm. Your cells don't need perfection, they need consistency. And the beautiful thing is, you already know how to be consistent. You've lived long enough to raise families, run homes, build careers. You've shown up for others again and again. This is your moment to show up for you. Because this one choice, to begin your day with intention instead of impulse, it ripples. It ripples into how you walk, how you think, how you speak. It ripples into how you sleep, how you digest, how you connect. It ripples into how others see you, not as someone fading, but as someone grounded, present, capable, clear. And those ripples, they turn into waves. Waves that carry you into the next season of life, not with resignation, but with readiness. You don't need to chase youth. You need to restore communication between you and your body, between your habits and your biology, between the strength that feels lost and the wisdom that's still here. Because the most powerful medicine is not in a pharmacy, it's in the message you send with your choices. And when you wake tomorrow, before the noise, before the news, before the world tugs at you, sit with your cup. Let it be quiet. Let it be yours. Let it be the first word in the language of your healing. Because that's what this is, in the end. Not a recipe, not a routine, but a ritual, a reminder that every single morning you have the chance to say, I am not done, I am not declining, I am not disappearing, I am arriving, and this is how I begin.